Your brain is lying to you more often than you think. Not because it's broken, not because there's something wrong with you, but because your brain's number one job isn't to make you happy, it's to keep you alive. And sometimes the way it tries to protect you actually keeps you stuck. You replay conversations from 3 days ago, you spend an hour thinking about a decision that should have taken 5 minutes. You imagine every possible outcome before making a move, and by the end of it, you're mentally exhausted, even though nothing actually happened. If you've ever felt trapped inside your own head, this video is for you. Because overthinking isn't intelligence, it's not preparation, and it's definitely not productive. It's often just fear wearing a disguise. Today, I want to talk about why we overthink, what it's really costing us, and more importantly, how to stop letting your thoughts control your life. Let's get into it. So, one of the biggest misconceptions about overthinking is that people believe they're solving problems. But most overthinking isn't problem solving, it's problem circling. Think about it. When you're solving a problem, you're moving toward a decision. When you're overthinking, you're moving in circles. You're replaying, reanalyzing, reimagining, and repeating the same thoughts over and over again. Psychologists often describe this as rumination, a mental habit where we continuously focus on distress, mistakes, fears, or uncertainties without actually resolving them. Your brain convinces you that if you think about it long enough, you'll eventually find certainty. But here's the truth: life rarely gives certainty, and overthinkers are often trying to achieve something impossible. They're trying to eliminate all risk before taking action. And what's the problem? Every meaningful decision in life carries uncertainty. Relationships, career changes, starting a business, moving to a new city, having difficult conversations. You don't get certainty first, you get certainty after action. And that's a hard truth for a lot of people to accept. Most people think overthinking only affects their mental health, but it impacts almost every area of your life. It steals opportunities, it delays decisions, it increases anxiety, and it slowly chips away at your confidence. Because confidence isn't built by thinking, it's built by doing. Imagine two people. One person spends 6 months researching how to start a YouTube channel, the other spends 1 week researching and 5 months creating videos. Who gains confidence? Who develops skill? Who actually grows? The person taking action every single time. Overthinking creates what psychologists call analysis paralysis. You become so focused on making the perfect decision that you make no decision at all. And ironically, indecision often creates more stress than making the wrong choice, because at least a wrong decision gives you information. Indecision gives you nothing. It just keeps you stuck. And being stuck is exhausting. Not physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You feel like you're carrying a backpack full of unfinished thoughts everywhere you go. And eventually, that weight starts affecting your mood, your sleep, and your relationships. This might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Read that again. Or better yet, let it sink in. Because most overthinkers treat every thought like evidence. A thought pops up into their head. What if I fail? And suddenly it becomes, I'm probably going to fail. Another thought appears. What if they don't like me? And now it becomes, they definitely don't like me. But thoughts aren't facts, they're mental events. That's it. Sometimes your brain generates useful thoughts, sometimes it generates nonsense. The problem is most people never question them. They assume every thought deserves attention. Imagine treating every spam email like an emergency. You'd lose your mind. Yet many of us do exactly that with our thoughts. Every fear gets analyzed, every worry gets investigated, every insecurity gets entertained. Instead of asking, is this thought true? We ask, what if it is? And that's how overthinking gains control. A powerful habit is learning to challenge your thoughts. Not every thought deserves a seat at the table. Some deserve the trash can. I'm going to go over 5 practical ways to stop overthinking. Give yourself a decision deadline. Overthinkers often leave decisions open ended, and your brain loves unfinished business. If you're making a decision, set a deadline. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, but decide when the decision will be made because endless thinking doesn't create clarity. Boundaries create clarity. Number two, ask yourself one simple question. Whenever you're spiraling, ask, is this thought helping me right now? Not whether it's true, not whether it's possible, not whether it's interesting. Is it helping? Because even if a fear is technically possible, dwelling on it may not serve you. This question forces your brain to shift from worry to usefulness. Number three, focus on what you can control. Most overthinking lives in the land of uncertainty. What if this happens? What if they say that? What if everything goes wrong? Instead of focusing on outcomes, focus on actions. You can't control whether everyone likes you. You can control how you show up. You can't control every result. You can control your effort. Overthinking shrinks when your attention returns to what you can actually influence. Number four, write it down. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. Thoughts become bigger when they stay trapped in your head. Writing them down forces them into reality. Many people discover that their overwhelming fears look much smaller once they're on paper. Your brain is a great tool for generating thoughts. It's a terrible storage unit. Stop carrying everything mentally. Number five, take imperfect action. This is the cure most people don't want to hear. Action. Not more thinking, not more planning. Action. You do not think your way out of overthinking. You act your way out of it. The phone call, the application, the workout, the conversation, the first video. The first step creates information, and information quiets uncertainty. The longer you wait, the scarier things become. The faster you move, the smaller they often appear. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. Your brain isn't always telling the truth, and you don't have to believe every thought that passes through your mind. Overthinking convinces you that more thinking will create peace, but most of the time, peace comes from acceptance, accepting uncertainty, accepting imperfection, accepting that you cannot predict every outcome. The goal isn't to stop thinking. That's impossible. The goal is to stop letting your thoughts run your life because life happens in action, not in mental rehearsals, not in imaginary conversations, not in worst case scenarios that may never happen. The people who grow aren't the people who never feel fear. They're the people who move forward despite it. So if you've been waiting for certainty before taking the next step, this is your sign. Take the step anyway. You might be surprised how much quieter your mind becomes once you start moving. And if this video helped you, let me know in the comments. What's one thing you've been overthinking lately? And if you know someone who's stuck in their own head right now, send this video to them. You never know who might need to hear it. And as always, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.